Welcome back, Catamounts. It's been a while since you've seen us. I'm Lorelei Noyes.
And I'm Kayleigh Dean. This is your campus news from WE TV and Catamount Entertainment. So my semester so far, I've got 5 extracurriculars, a mentorship, a job, and 19 credit hours. How are you doing so far?
Better than you. Yeah.
Not as busy? Not as busy?
It's not as busy. Booked and busy, but not that
Not
busy.
that booked and busy.
No. Reverend Jesse Lee Jackson, a prominent American civil rights leader, died this past Tuesday, February 17th. He was 84 years old. Jackson was born in Greenville, South Carolina, and played a major role in advocating for civil rights alongside other prominent figures like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the 1960s. He went on to advocate for racial and economic justice through organizations like Operation Push and the Rainbow Push Coalition, which was an alliance between Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native, and LGBTQ+ Americans.
Lake Tomaha and McDowell County will be seeing slit and debris cleanups after damage caused by Hurricane Helene. The Federal Emergency Management Agency approved a $55 million cleanup project that began back in 2025, with an estimated 500,000 cubic yards of debris flowing into the lake. It is expected that the cleanup project will be completed by June of 2026. The amount of debris in the lake has raised concerns for how safe the water is in a drinking supply and flooding concerns for the surrounding area.
WCU has a cycling club that's peddling up some news. Chappell shows us some more.
Kayleigh, North Carolina has many beautiful places to explore. One of the best ways to explore is on bike. Meet Hayden and Mina. Hayden is the president of the cycling club, while Mina is the marketing executive. I spoke with them about why they like cycling and what it feels like to ride down a mountain.
I love the feeling of flying through the air when I'm going downhill or riding anywhere.
You basically feel like you're levitating when you're going downhill. It's so fun. And it's just, you get push energy, you get the pedal around, and it brings the whole community together, which is awesome.
You don't need to be an expert to join. It's a great way to stay in shape and explore the great outdoors.
You just need to be able to ride a bike. We can teach you the rest.
Even if you don't have a bike, we have programs and we have some extra ones that we have as a club.
Hayden and Mina had this to say when asked about the culture they wanted to build.
It's an awesome community to be part of with over 30 people that come from all different backgrounds and can ride all different styles of bikes.
It's such a tight-knit community, and it's also a lifelong sport.
For more information on the Cycling Club, you can visit their Instagram page at Cycling Club at WCU. They also have a link tree in their bio that you can check out. So this is Chappell riding off.
Stay tuned. We have our national news desk coming up.
And Julian and Ryan with We Cook. We'll be right back after this break.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
love.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out? You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Hello, I'm Lorelei Noyes, and welcome to the National News Desk. And here's your news from around the country. Civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson has died at the age of 84, his family announced on February 17, 2026. Jackson, a Baptist minister, longtime activist, and influential figure in American politics and social justice, passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by family. Jackson, born in Greenville, South Carolina, played a major role in the civil rights movement alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the 1960s, and went on to advocate for racial and economic justice through organizations like Operation Push and the Rainbow Push Coalition, which was an alliance between Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native, and the LGBTQ Americans. Authorities are continuing the search for Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie in Pima County, Arizona. Investigators say Guthrie disappeared from her home near Tucson on February 1st. Law enforcement believes she may have been taken against her will. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Office are leading the investigation. Officials say they are reviewing surveillance footage, processing evidence collected near the home, and following up on public tip-offs. Family members have been cleared by investigators and are asking anyone with information to come forward. The search remains active as authorities continue to find more information. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has formally refused to share evidence or information with the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension in the investigation into the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy in Minneapolis on January 24, 2026. Federal agents shot and killed Preddy, a 37-year-old intensive care nurse, during a federal immigration enforcement operation. The BCA has said the FBI's refusal is concerning and unprecedented. This has been your national news. I'm Lorelei Noyes. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Lorelei, for your report. Thousands of jars of peanut butter have been recalled due to containing a foreign material. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, 3 peanut butter products have been recalled in 40 states, possibly containing pieces of blue plastic. The recall was made back in 2025, but the FDA has reclassified it to a Class 2 recall, meaning the exposure to the material could cause temporary or medically reversible health problems.
The Asheville Mardi Gras parade continued despite the cold weather and rain on Sunday, February 15th, in the South Slope area of downtown. The theme was Life is a Carnival. Participants in the parade showed up in festive colors with floats to celebrate the day. The parade was organized by Asheville Mardi Gras, which is a volunteer community-based arts and culture group. The parade was also broadcast by WeTV.
Julian and Ryan have been cooking up a storm. Let's see what they've made for this week's episode of We Cook.
Ryan, do you have the Wi-Fi password?
Yeah, I got the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi hate.
That's so funny, Ryan. It's not like you're cheating on me or anything.
What do you mean cheating on you? I live here. We live together. Am I the secondary?
Who is this?
And now it's time we cook.
No. Now it's time you can't get out of this.
First we put the water in the whatever this is. The water in the pot!
Put the water in the pot. You turn on this little heater guy here, and then you lead it there until it starts to bubble up a little bit. You cut it like that, and like that. We're obviously not putting it in like it's pickles on a hamburger, so we're gonna dice up the jalapenos a little bit. This is a slightly lengthy process. Garlic's next. We're not using all 3 garlic cloves for obvious reasons. It doesn't really matter exactly how you mince it, but just chop it up a lot. All right, so everything we were gonna cut is prepped. We got the garlic that you can barely see, the jalapenos that you can kind of see, and then the onions that you can see a lot of. Turn this guy on. And a nice medium-high heat. Doesn't matter to you terribly much. Spread it around. All right, we're serving 2 people today. So, 2 people's worth of spaghetti. Make sure to occasionally spoil your, stir the pasta. You don't really need to do it too much. You just want to make sure that, like, sometimes if you don't have too terribly much water in the pot, you got to make sure that, like, the noodles are not sticking out away from it, or else it won't cook evenly or boil evenly. All right, big block of meat. We want to kind of ground this a little bit, or brown it, that's the term. It's already grounded, it's ground beef. So the vegetables will still be cooking while we are browning this ground beef and while we are heating up the spaghetti sauce and mixing in our spices. All right, as you can see, that is relatively well browned. Bombs away. I like to start on my spices. The order of the spices do not matter. I'd say visually that looks pretty neat. You do what's called taking the pot and pouring it in the strainer. Now, we got a little bit of apple cider vinegar here. Now, pour this in just a little bit, not too much, because it is relatively strong, but that's good. Give that a mix in. We've got our noodles. We've got our spaghetti sauce. We've got our messy kitchen, which proved that we did what is known as cooking. Now, you take this and you just pour it. Look at that. That's a good little ratio of noodles to... And then finishing it off here. And there we go, your pasta's done. This is spaghetti.
Wow, that looks really good. I sure hope Ryan doesn't eat it all. This is the second best spaghetti I've ever had.
What's the first?
Chef Boyardee.
Ah, you kill me.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of We Cook.
Are we going to address the fact that you're cheating on me?
We will catch you next time on We Cook.
Wow, looks amazing as always.
I know, I feel like I can just smell it through the screen. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned for our interview with our special guest in Jacoy's Corner.
And we'll be right back after this break with Jack McBrayer with our weather report.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Do you have prediabetes? North Carolina residents with prediabetes can enroll in a free or low-cost national diabetes prevention program. Trained coaches are standing by. Get started now at joinaprogram.org.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Hello, Catamounts. I'm Jack McBrayer here for your weather, and to kick things off, we'll get right into Friday. Friday has a high of 63 with a low of 48 and an average of 59. You might want your umbrellas because it's going to be cloudy with rain showers throughout the entire day. Then going into Saturday, you're also going to have a high of 62 with a low of 45, average of 48, also rainy, so keep those jackets on you. Going into Sunday, we're going to have a high of 46, low of 23, and an average of 40, followed by rain showers, so you might want to stay warm and dry that day. Going into Monday, where we have a high of 29, a low of 20, and an average of 24. It's going to be a little chilly on that one. Tuesday, we have a high of 42, a low of 18, and an average of 30. It's going to be a little bit different with some sun coming through after a lot of the rain showers throughout the week. Then going back into Wednesday, it's going to be rainy again with a high of 49, a low of 27, and an average of 40. And then Thursday is going to be a bit warmer with a high of 53, a low of 39, and an average of 44. And that is the weather throughout the week. Now, Jack McBrayer to the desk.
Thank you, Jack, for the weather report. Students at T.C. Robertson High School in Asheville participated in a walkout this past Tuesday morning in protest of immigration enforcement operations. More than 100 students took part in the nationwide National Day of Action, walking down Long Shoals Road towards Biltmore Park. For these students, voting is still not an option for them, so getting out with signs and protesting made them feel like they have their voices heard.
A runaway pig was captured and brought home by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office this past Monday, February 16th. The pig was not hammed during its capture. The pig was found in a home in search of food, sounds like Hallie, and transported to Rutherford County Animal Control Services and relocated with its owner.
Activism and civic engagement has always been important for students on campus. Lorelei Noyes gives us the story.
We head into the second year of Trump's presidency. There's been an uptick in activism in response to his administration and their actions, and students are at the center of it. On January 20th, students at UNC Asheville and Western Carolina University walked out to protest the actions of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Hundreds of students between the two universities showed up in support of the cause, joining thousands of other students walking out across the nation. This isn't a new occurrence. Student activism is as old as universities themselves. Today, we're going around campus and asking students what their thoughts are on activism and why it's important to them. What does student activism mean to you?
I would say student activism to me just means that everyone is aware of what issues are going on and we're taking action for it.
Student activism, being a part of the community, knowing the things that are going on, even if it doesn't directly affect you, because like friends, family, it could affect somebody you know, and it's really important to know what's going on.
For me, student activism is all about the young students here at Western and universities across the country coming together to kind of fight for a cause, whatever that may be.
What's an issue you've seen students here at Western speak up about?
On the left, more so, or like immigration. I've seen a lot of flyers everywhere, and I think I've seen some like protests in Silva. On the right, I haven't seen much, but from what I've seen and what I've like debated about on campus, it's mostly about like the women in sports issue.
Do you think students should be aware of what's happening in politics as young adults?
Absolutely. I think that it's so incredibly important, and that's lost on a lot of people.
I think yes, for sure, but there's a caveat for me. Not at the detriment of your mental health.
Do you think student activism can lead to any meaningful change?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, we are the new generation. We are going to be the change whether we want to or not. So yeah, I 100% agree.
Absolutely. I believe Gen Z had like some of the biggest turnout in this past election, and obviously that's a huge voter count. So obviously we have a very big sway in what like elections and policies. I think we have a really big voice as young people, and we really need to get it out there regardless of what you believe in, because free speech is for everyone. It doesn't matter if someone on the left has an idea or if I have an idea. It's for everyone.
Student activism will always be alive and well as long as there are issues students are passionate about. For WeTV, I'm Lorelei Noyes. Back to you at the desk. Stay tuned for sports with Owen and Chap.
And Jacoy Bell with our special guest. We'll be right back after this break.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Right here, baby. Look. Oma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting.
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other,
On a deeper level. Father.
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward
Come together.
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
And now sports with Owen Flemming and Chap Chappell.
Chappell, your voices of Western Carolina sports. Now let's go ahead and swing into baseball, or softball, I should say. The Catamounts hosted the Winthrop Eagles for a doubleheader in Kayleigh. The Cats swept the Eagles by a score of 9-2 in Game 1 and 11-5 in Game 2. The 7-2 start is the team's best start since 2022. Senior Taylor Waitley led the team during a doubleheader with 5 hits, including a 4-for-4 one-homer appearance in Game 1. Maya McPherson added 4 hits, tallying a pair of doubles and her second big fly of the season. Sydney Dirks continued her hot start to the 2026 season with 3 or more extra base hits, 4 more homers on the year. A.G. Batson picked up 3 hits with a double, and Tate Stuman delivered a pinch hit homer in Game 2. Pitching for WCU, sophomores Amanda Fulton and A.G. Batson both spun complete games in the winning effort. Fulton matched her season high with 8 strikeouts as the pair only allowed 2 earned runs. Up next for the Catamounts will be heading to Boiling Springs to take on the Running Bulldogs of Gardner-Webb February 24th at 3 p.m.
And now let's dribble our way over to basketball. On the men's side of things, the Catamounts traveled to the McKenzie Arena to take on Chattanooga. Julian Samaro scored a season-high 25 points as the Catamounts withstood a late-charging Chattanooga, earning the tight 81-76 conference win over the Mocs. The Cats started strong, leading the Mocs by 18 just 4 minutes into the second half. Chattanooga did fight back with a 21-8 run to cut that deficit to 3 within the final minute. However, a trio of Catamounts combined to score 6 of the game's final 8 points as the Cats held on for the 5-point win, avenging that 8-point loss from January. Graduate transfer Tijan Diomasi added 16 points, including 3 shots made from beyond the arc. Marcus Kell finished with 11 points, while Samuel Dada continued his strong work on the glass with 6 points and 11 rebounds. Justin Johnson led the way defensively with 2 blocks and 3 steals.
The women's team didn't have the same luck as well. They fell to the Wofford Terriers 73-54. They cut the deficit down by 3 points twice, but the 8-point lead and Gabby Mundy's 25-point performance was too much to overcome as the Terriers managed to pull away with a victory over the Catamounts.
The men's team will be traveling to Lexington, Virginia to take on the Keydets of VMI Saturday, February 21st at 1 p.m., while the women's team is going to hit the road next week to take on the Chattanooga Mocs at the McKenzie Arena on February 19th at 6 p.m.
As we look to baseball, second inning woes cursed the Cats as they gave up 13 runs in the second inning alone and fell in a 17-0 loss. Non-conference loss to USC Upstate. Noah Corliss went 2 for 3 on hits with Jalen Jones adding to the third as a mid-game substitution. The Catamounts were stymied offensively, recording just 5 base hit runners and 3 hits. Starter Shane Huntsberger took the loss, tagged for 5 runs on 7 hits with a strikeout, and was pulled in the second inning without a recording an out. The Cats will have a record of 3-1 and will take up the field next home game against Bowling Green on February 20th at 4 p.m.
And let's end tonight's segment by sprinting over to the track and field as the Cats finished strong at their final indoor meet. They picked up a trio of event wins and 11 top 5 placements. Bradley White led the Catamounts over the 2 days of competition, taking 4th place in the 800-meter invite with a 1-minute, 51-second finish on Friday in the event. The freshman closed out his weekend with an individual win in the open mile as well. Catherine Hopkins led the women's team, securing an event win in the 3,000-meter open. She was the only student athlete to finish sub 10 minutes in the open portion of the event, securing the win with a blistering time of 9 minutes and 53 seconds. Additionally, she also took 2nd place in the mile open. Daniel Coronel led a trio of high-finishing Catamounts in the high jump open, taking the event win and clearing the 2-meter plateau in the process. Josh Flack and Noah Brannon finished 3rd and 4th in the high jump respectively, both clearing 1.96 meters. Coronel also had the top finish by the Catamounts in the horizontal jumps, taking 2nd in the long jump open, while Sealy Gully took 4th in the women's triple jump open with a mark of 11.15 meters. We're going to wish the Cats luck as they head to Virginia for the 2026 Southern Conference Indoor Track and Field Championships on February 27th and 28th.
This week's Catamount Athlete of the Week is tennis player Maria Debrera. The Canadian export posted 3 wins in singles play while also posting double wins with Mia Miranda as Western's top tennis duo.
Congrats Maria, and
go Cats!
And now, Jacoy Bell with our special guest, Klovyr Jade.
Hi, I'm Jacoy, and welcome to Jacoy's Corner. And today I have a special guest with me, Klovyr Jade. She is a stage and screen major, and she is working on an upcoming film called Those Who Are Marked. Klovyr, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Okay, so what roles do you play within your major?
I tend to be a little bit of a dark horse, simply because in this current climate, I think that it's very easy to do the norm. And so I am one of those people who tend to deviate from that. And so, yeah, I think that I occupy a space in which no one else really does, but I feel like that's the fun of it. I like to be the trendsetter instead of the one going with the flow.
Here at WeTV, I enjoy seeing a show like this come together. What do you enjoy about producing or creating a film?
Everything. I tend to write my own films, and so from the writing process to the pre-production to actually getting on set and directing it or acting, Then getting to the editing process, I just love it all. I think that from start to finish, it's just such a beautiful ritual, and I love it.
Speaking of writing, what motivates you to come up with the plots and characters that are seen in your films?
I think my lived experiences. I've done 2 films in which I've directed. One was called Wild as the Wind, and the other one that's up and coming, Those Who Are Marked. Wild as the Wind was based off of a previous relationship that I had, and instead of talking about it with a therapist like a normal person, I decided to just go ahead and make a film about it. And so yeah, as for Those Who Are Marked, it was literally based off of my grief dealing with my grandmother who has dementia and the diagnosis that came with that. So I wanted to write a story to help me kind of like get it all out. Yeah.
Okay. Those Who Are Marked is your upcoming film.
It is.
Can you speak more about it?
Yes, I can. So the log line is a woman's husband dies, and so she finds comfort in the moon goddess. And to go deeper than that, it's, like I said, a story about grief, but it's also a story about destiny and how sometimes fate is stronger than anything else in the universe, and you can't outrun your fate. And so, yeah, it's ultimately a story about hope.
I love that, and I'm also in it.
And you are.
What do you want people to take from it?
The same way that Those Who Are Marked started out as a screenplay that I turned into a stage play that is now being made into a film. And the same thing that I wanted people to take away from the stage play is what I want them to take away from this version. And that is that Black, queer, Black actors, Black artists are beautiful, they are talented, and they need to be employed. In Stage and Screen, we sort of saw a little bit of a drought of a lot of the Black talent that was being used, and so I wanted to alleviate that by making a story that was led by 2 Black women, one of which is trans, and I think that the story is just chef's kiss, guys.
Okay, I know it's your senior thesis.
Yes.
Do you have any other upcoming projects that you're excited about?
I do. I actually have one of my pieces from a photographic series that I did. It's currently in the Fine Art Museum for the undergrad exhibit. And so, yeah, it's from Women in Motorcycles. Yeah, go see it. Wild as the Wind, I mentioned it, and Those Who Are Marked. And I'm also the president of a club called the Bee Collective, and we focus on bringing minoritized voices in arts outward. And so that being said, just stay tuned for us. Like, we're coming real soon.
Okay. And one final fun question. Yes. If your life were a movie, what would it be?
I would literally say, not because of plot or like anything that happened, but just because of like the way it was structured. I'd say Challengers. I just think that like the way that movie is just like mess, plot. I feel like that's my life, and I genuinely just enjoy it for that reason. Like, oh my gosh, like come on, like who wouldn't want to live a life like Tassie Duncan?
I understand.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Catamount Nation.
And thank you for watching. I'm Jacoy Bell. Now back to the desk.
That's all the campus news we have for you this evening.
Make sure to check out our next newscast to stay up to date on all your campus news. And as always, go Cats!